Hey everybody, gonna be doing something a little bit different today. We're gonna be doing some live 3D scanning. We don't often get the opportunity to scan client parts live, but this is an actual client part. It is from the Cuban Club, and I'm gonna talk all about it here. I'm just waiting to be able to post all the social media stuff that I need to post. You know how this goes. All right. So we have a piece of history from here in Tampa. This is a piece to the Cuban Club. This is solid cast iron. It is no joke. It weighs about 50 pounds, give or take 20 kilos. And this is over 100 years old. So if you're in the metal business, you know that this cast iron is actually really, really valuable for the raw iron because it's pre-nuclear era. So it doesn't have radiation mixed into it. This stuff can be used in like crazy special, stuff. Anyways, we have to scan the top portion of it for the client. It is for the Cuban Club in Tampa, and we have chosen the Artex Spider to do the job. It is way more accurate than what we need, but I thought that this piece would be really cool. It's not under any NDAs, so I thought it'd be really cool to show you guys. You can see from the top down, this thing has seen its fair share of trouble through the years. It's seen quite a few different colors and coats of paint. You can see where they used a grinder on it in an attempt to clean it. But since this building was built in 1917, these balustrades, I think is what they're called. I don't 100% know that's what they're called. But these are original to the building and serve as a historical part of the building itself. So it's really cool for us to be able to be involved with historical preservation. It's not something you get to do every single day, and it's certainly not something that you get to do live on the internet, which is super cool. So, let's have a little bit of fun. YouTube is yelling at me. Let's see why YouTube is yelling at me. And yes, as Tarzman says, this is, in fact, metal. Frostbite is saying, what are we doing with the finished product? That's a great question. For right now, we are just scanning it. So if they want to do something more than that, they're welcome to. But for right now, we are going to stick to scanning. If they want us to 3D print something, we are happy to do it. We will have the data. But we cannot release the data without their permission. We can show you guys. I got approval to do that. I got approval to film all about this, but they don't know yet about the data. So I've got it on a Lazy Susan so that I can easily move it around. The scan should be pretty straightforward and actually relatively simple as far as scans go, because the Artex Spider is a structured light scanner, doesn't need tracking targets or anything like that. So super simple. If you are new and you're hanging out, make sure to leave a like, get subscribed, and enter to win some printed solid filament. And of course, these streams are brought to you completely ad-free, so that you may be able to watch this without any interruption whatsoever. If you guys are getting any buffer or anything like that, please let me know. YouTube is yelling at me, but I don't think it's accurate because I am not dropping packets on my side. Anyways, I say it's time to get down to business, time to get this thing scanned in. I am going to switch over to the laptop so that you guys can see it. There you go. Do we want overhead on this? Probably not. Let's see what other options. Yeah, you know what? Oh, well, that's using this. Let's go with the overhead camera instead of the webcam. All right, that way you guys will be able to see my screen and what we're looking at, how and why. If you have any questions about this process, how it works, what we're doing, feel free to ask in the chat. And if you are watching this back later, leave a comment. Always happy to talk about this. This is the Artex Spider. Brand new. They have the brand new Spider 2. Goes for about $25,000 to $30,000. Is a very expensive 3D scanner. Yes, there are consumer grade scanners on the market that can do the scanning to the level that we need. However, this is the easiest. So, you know, that's what we're going to do. Big thank you to Be Your Printer with the 5 memberships. It's awesome. Thank you, sir. Biker got one. Kudreth got one. Fredox and Cybertech got one. Oh, and Russ did as well. All right. We're going to get this thing scanned in. It should be a pretty simple process for from the scanning perspective. I will be curious to see if it is a simple process from the cleanup perspective, because boy howdy, there's a lot of paint left on this thing. But the reason we chose the Spider is because it doesn't need tracker dots, and this thing would be a pain to scan if you needed to put tracker dots on it. So let's get to scanning. Oh yeah, I should mention, it's gonna flash light. So, you know, flashing light. But you know what? I want real-time fusion. Real-time fusion will be good for this. And I honestly don't know if we need anything beyond normal sensitivity. I think we'll be fine, just the regular sensitivity. So we're gonna look for the part, use that histogram to kind of help us figure out where we are in the world. There we go. And let's start. Oh man, today the program is angry. Why are we so angry today, Artec? What's going on here? Hold on. Might be best for us to restart this. Something is not right. Are we cool? We're literally cool. All right. Who knows? Sometimes things just get upset. Nope. I'm going to restart the program. It's been a while since I restarted it, so let's just restart it. Makes life easy. When is that thing not angry? Dude, I don't know. Artec Studio 19 seems to be a lot less stable than 18 was, and I'm kind of upset about it because it is a $1,700 a year project, software. So, yeah. I don't like that. So, oh. And we want real-time fusion. Okay. All right. That looks to be much better. It is moving at my speed. Oh, yeah. Just a reset of the software is what it needed. Or maybe it didn't. What the heck? That's interesting. Yeah. The software force stopped it. Why? I mean, it looks good, that little bit that we recorded, but that shouldn't happen. Welcome to the world of 3D scanning. Sometimes things just don't work the way they should. Is it also the kind of software that doesn't allow you to downgrade the version? Not easily. I have it. I don't know if it'll work, though. Look at that. All right. Let's do the next best thing. Let's just reboot the actual computer, and we'll go ahead and verify that it's not that. Because we want to go ahead and remove all possible problems. Ah, it was updating. It says that there's a new version available. Okay. That's why. It was attempting to download as we were attempting to use it. Or at least that's my best guess. Cool. Good job, Artec. All right, we're going to let that download, I guess, for a little bit, and then go ahead and reboot the PC. It's funny, because I tried a scan earlier with it, and it worked just fine. I'm going to set this down. I mean, literally, this weighs as much as a bar does, like if you're doing any like regular weightlifting. Weighs as much as that. Like it's cast iron. Like solid freaking cast iron. Thankfully, it's the right size, so it fits perfectly on one of the turntables that we use for scanning. All right, I'm just gonna reboot. It does not appear to want to work. Welcome to the world of 3D scanning. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. Even with expensive scanners, you can have problems. There's not a lot of people here today. What, you all just don't, you guys don't like 3D scanning apparently? By the way, what is that anyway? Some kind of old fence post. It is what I think is called a balustrade. It is the vertical for a railing on a balcony at the Cuban Club in Tampa. So that's what this is from. The bottom of it is what deteriorated beyond the ability to be repaired. And because it is old school cast iron, it is really, really, really hard to weld to it. Withy Statue says, can you put that on a turntable? No way it's going to stand upright. No, but I can hold it. I'm not too worried about it moving around. The scanner should be more than capable of dealing with that. So I'm not too worried there. However, if it does start to give us problems, we will scan it laying down. But there should be no reason that we need to. I've scanned much harder to deal with things on the Spider than this, so I'm not too worried about it. Just for some reason, the software wants to give me problems today. So whatever, I get stuck in the hell of scanners being angry at me. So that's life. And Discord wanting to update, because apparently that's an important thing to do on this computer. Oh, Discord. All right, let's get everything open back up. I will verify that it is working properly, and then we'll do it. Jimmy asks, a quick off-topic question. Which infill for Voron parts? Gyroid at 40 vibrates in a way I'm not too sure my bed slinger feels good about. You can do 40% cubic or 40% adaptive cubic. It should be fine. Veragian? I'm going to probably get that wrong. Biker said, I've scanned lots of rune stones, but I've only used my phone. It would be great to have a real scanner. Yeah. Real scanners are expensive. In my opinion, they're worth it when they don't do stupid crap like this. Because to me, this is stupid crap. It shouldn't be doing this. Luke said that's a nice HP Omen. It is. Yeah, it's a... well, let me give you the specs. It's a 14700HX with a 4070, 32 gigs of RAM. It ran about $1,000. It's not cheap, but in terms of like horsepower in a laptop, so far still the best bang for the buck laptop that I can find. So I'm going with it. It's been a great laptop, works well. I do wish that it could charge via USB-C. That's like the one pain point that I have about this PC is that it does not charge via USB-C. Intel laptop CPU. I know, and it's the 1400, it's the 14th gen, and the 14th gen has, you know, those issues with the cores. There's nothing I can do about it. The Ryzen variant of this laptop is over double the price and has less performance. So yeah, went with this. Yeah, Luke said that's a deal breaker for me as well on laptops. Got to be Type-C charging. At this price point, I will complain, but I don't really have space to complain. I do want to try adapting USB-C to the barrel jack, because it should be possible, and then enabling me to charge via USB-C. The problem is it's a 330-watt power brick, so I'm actually not certain that it could realistically do what it needs to do on pure USB-C. So, MLV said the 14th laptop should be safe. Dang. And Rob, I said if it can run scanner software, then it's a great laptop. Yeah, and you need NVIDIA GPUs to do it. So you're kind of stuck in that. Why is Discord taking so long to up? You know what, Discord? You can go and get end tasked. Good night, sweet prince. You can go away. Let's get the scanning software. I'm gonna make sure that it works first. USCC after update tops out at 200 watts. I think they go to like 240 right now. Ra said, did you already say how much or type of scanner yours is, commercial grade or consumer? It is a commercial grade scanner. It is an Artex Spider. Brand new, they run about $25,000. So it's expensive. Hell, the software is $1,700 a year or something like that. But normally, in my experience, it runs quite well. So I'm just going to quickly scan the part real quick. Maybe it's real-time fusion upsetting things. We'll see. But I'm just going to see if she does her thing here real quick. Yep, it's happy now. Okay. By the way, that was 49 frames that I just did, and it was accurate to 0.1 millimeters. Gotta love it. Okay, let's do that for you all so you can see it. Runs well unless it overheats. This laptop has very loud fans. I've not ran into crazy thermal throttling issues on it yet, but it is theoretically possible. But yes, this is a very expensive scanner. I could use a consumer grade scanner here, but I don't need to because I bought this a while back. So, does the scanner itself overheat? Yes, the scanner does overheat. And that's because being as high accuracy as it is, it doesn't have fans. And so you can actually see the scanner sitting at 40 degrees Celsius. The optimal temp it says is 51. I like to run it colder than that. We're not doing anything that's like crazy high resolution. So we don't have to worry too much about it being up to temperature. However, if we were trying to get the best possible quality out of this scanner, you would want to wait for it to warm up completely. I, however, don't need that. In fact, most of the quality of this scanner is completely superfluous. But it's nice because it's dead quiet to use. Get the top real quick. Lost tracking there for a second. We will pick up everything about this part, including the little paint chips, geometry bits, and things that are a little bit weird. You might say, Grant, couldn't you just model this in CAD? And the answer is, yeah, to some extent you could, but there's other extent at which you cannot. The part is not flat on the top like you would expect. It is rounded on the top, and that is normally to help remove any water and buildup of moisture that is on it. Okay, I'm going to scan a little bit lower than what's required. Uh-oh. There it goes doing the thing again. So confused as to why it does that sometimes. It's like the software has a hiccup. We don't need to scan this far down. We actually can stop at that smaller cylinder. But, you know, it's here, so why not? Let's just scan the whole thing. And to be clear, what you are seeing is a live generated 3D model that the computer is completely figuring out on its own as we're scanning. This is not the raw data for the scanner. This is a 3D model that is being generated live. Oh, got too close. So yeah, what you're seeing is kind of impressive. Very few other scanners can do this kind of thing. And I will tell you, it is all because of the software. But of course, this software comes with a very high cost. The software is $1,500 to $1,700 a year. You can buy it outright for about $3,500 or $4,000, somewhere in that range. But you do not get updates, so you end up getting locked into, you know, that era, if you will. All right, it stopped for me, so I guess we're going to go ahead and stop it. Ugh. By the way, again, this thing weighs like 20 freaking kilos. It is so heavy. So heavy. All right, so and you know what? Let's bring you guys to the laptop. So what you are seeing, this is the raw scan data. This is the raw scan data. If I remove the fusion, this is what the raw data of the scanner captured. Now, a lot of the weirdness in the scan data is hidden because of the texture. So we can remove that and you can actually see some of the oddities that occur with pixels and 3D scanners. But most scanners will show it to you with the texture on it. It already generated a model. So that is the live model that was generated. However, this is not, under any circumstances, a high quality model and not even close to what this scanner is capable of doing. So what we want to do, we can cheat and just use the autopilot. And for this case, it's probably fine. Yeah, we don't have to worry too much. We can just go ahead and use it. Our data sets, here, let me show you guys something. We can go in and look at every single frame. If I delete that frame, this, and this frame, I now have a scan that is accurate to 0.2 millimeters rather than 0.4. That is one of those things you have to deal with. Luke asked, could I slap some fans on it? That is a goal at some point. The Spider does have areas. It's got a tripod mount, so I could build a base that blows air through it. But so far, it's not that big of a deal for us to do that kind of thing. So, all right. Our quality is good, our texture is good. It is not a hard to scan surface. There are parts that we need to erase. Nothing needs to be aligned. The object size is small. We can see here that they'll walk you through. Small is 1 to 5 centimeters. Actually, it's probably medium, actually, looking at it. We don't want to deal with any hole filling at the moment. Model resolution. Let's go 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll do 10 million. Oh, sorry. No, resolution is auto. Polygon count is 10 million. I can, once we go through it, I can actually tell you where we are at. So this model is 31 million polygons. You guys can't see it because my camera covers it, but it is 31. Well, here, I'll turn off the camera so you can see it. 31,961,178 polygons, and it is 1.68 gigabytes of raw data. So kind of insane. So we do want to do a little bit of cleanup on this model that will help us make it easier. Let's see. Let's do a cutoff plane. And I want to get this thing kind of upright where I can. And we can do a cutoff plane more or less there. Nope, that didn't work. All right, we'll do rectangular selection. Cheat and do the rectangular selection. We will deselect rectangular selection, just like that. It's not amazing, but orientation is a bit harder than you think in programs like this. I wish you could just say, hey, this is the top and the bottom. And you might be able to, and I might just be missing it. That's probably all that we need to do. And now the software is going to go through and do everything for me. And it's part of why I don't mind paying what I pay for it, because it's going to do everything. And by and large, it works without any problems. 3D Experiment says, does the scanner require a powerful PC? It requires a less powerful PC than most scanners that we have used. Most scanners, like the EinStar from Shining 3D, requires a more powerful computer than this does. The resource utilization of this computer is really, really well. The software itself has very, very good resource utilization here. I'll put that up there so you guys can kind of see what we're working with. A lot of processing is done via the CPU, and you can see 100% pinned for everything. But so far, it's pretty happy. With the statue says, use a 3D scanner to 3D scan the 3D scanner so you can mount fans. Yes, we are going to use a 3D scanner, because I have other scanners. This is not my only scanner. We will use another scanner to 3D scan the 3D scanner because, yo, dog, I heard you like 3D scanners. A mirror would not work. At least I don't think it would. Jeff Sawyer says, I'm looking to buy a Raptor Pro. Not sure if I can justify software that is almost 3 times the cost of the scanner. Look, at the end, well, the Raptor Pro is, well, you can't use this software with the Raptor Pro, to be clear. You can't. This software only works for RTech scanners. We are done with our model. We didn't fill any of the holes, but now what we can do is we can look at the scan color and look at the detail that it's absolutely captured. We haven't filled any of the holes. I want it to look this way for right now. I really should have gotten better on that top surface, but again, it's not that important. I mean, everything down to the paint chips. There's a drip right there that we can clearly see. This is high resolution data. And this is, let's see what it is 3.1 million polygons. 3.1 million. So we're now going to go into the, let's see, we'll go into tools. Nah, screw it. Let's go right into fixing holes. The biggest one is probably going to be the bottom hole. Yep, no surprises there. We will fill it as flat. That's going to be the easiest way to fill it. There we go. And then every other one of these holes, filling them as smooth normally results in the best quality. And I'm just going to sit back and let the actual program do its job. Jeff says about that Raptor. I have the OG Raptor. It's an amazing scanner. It's crippled by its garbage software. Its software is not user-friendly. It doesn't have anywhere near the level that you would need of detail on other scanners. So it's a little frustrating for me. Now, the bummer about hole filling is that it only really seems to use a couple of the cores. It doesn't tend to use everything. Luke said, EinStar looks great for $850, but for some reason it's $1,100 in the UK. Oh, there it goes. All the holes are filled. Done. Like, that's... I understand that this software is expensive. The scanner is expensive. But we have a usable STL model already. We're done. Now, I am going to look to run some mesh optimization. We're going to remove small objects. We'll heal bad polygons, which you should always do after doing hole filling, just to make sure everything is nice and happy. And because, well, I'm feeling a little spicy, let's remesh down to, I don't know, 0.1? We'll do 1.5. 1.5 should be fine. iStrophic remesh is going to take a little bit. We might end up canceling it. So, yeah. 27 minutes. 27 minutes from start, which included completely rebooting my computer to having a ready-to-go 3D model. Like, I'm sorry. I understand that it's not a cheap scanner. And the software is not cheap either, but the results are hard to argue with. There's the GPU being used. A little bit, not much. It's mostly going to be CPU. GPU is only really used in the render stage and in the capture stage. Rara said, apparently software has been updated significantly and the newer Raptors are much better. I will have to try my OG Raptor. I was going to do it with this, but I really didn't want to deal with sticking markers all over it. I have a second one of these plates that I'm going to put markers on, so the plate itself has markers, so we can use that for more marker-based scanning. But laser line scanning is kind of a pain in the butt. It's just not my... You want cross-hatching right? You don't, like, the OG Raptor is just like 7 lines that are parallel to each other. You want crosshatches, it will get you a better overall model. 3D Experiment says it's for the okay. Beer Printer says, I think it depends on the scanner. Sometimes the scanner will do all the processing on itself. My EinStar does all the processing on the connected computer and uses the GPU and the RAM. Yes. So scanners, and here I'll go back to this because it's really not that interesting at this point. You guys can see me, but you know, this scanner is just using structured light, so there's nothing crazy. There's no lasers or anything, and we're hitting, well, it hit certified 200 microns. I can probably get it lower if I take a little time. The Pro uses 22 cross lines. That's still a little low. The more cross lines that you have, the better. I recently tried out the Libre from Shining 3D. That was a pretty cool scanner, but it is like $35,000. But we compared it to my Artec Leo. I am hoping that Shining 3D will be able to get us a loaner of the Libre to play with, because that would be nice. Jeff Sorry says, put a few markers on the plate and then print a few of these scanner dice things. We have some dedicated trackers that we use. Like, I have MJF printed tracker pieces. However, with this part being as tall as it is, it wouldn't work. The scanner wouldn't see the dots. I'd have to put the dots on the part itself. Then I got to go through, remove all the dots. It is more work than it's worth, in my opinion. A structured light scanner is perfect for stuff like this because it requires, with an older, kind of rusty-ish model, it requires no surface prep whatsoever. And here, I'll pick the table up so you guys can see the part more clearly, and I don't have to look at the fact that the shirt is slightly too small for me all that much. I have put on weight and I need to get rid of it. Seems like the included software is as important as the hardware. I would argue that this software is more important. This scanner, this Spider, is circa sometime in the mid to late 2010, 2015 range. So somewhere between 2011 and 2016 is when that scanner was produced. That's it. And the only reason it does this well, and yes, the scanner was able to do 50 microns back then too, but it has gotten better because of the software. A lot of the companies that you see out there for 3D scanners right now are hardware companies that happen to make software. And so their hardware is really good and their software at best is mediocre. Something that upsets me with Shining 3D is that every one of their scanners has a different program. When I can take the Spider, the Eva, my Leo, and even my Ray, my long-range LiDAR scanner, and put them all on the same program and use all that scanning detail together. With Shining 3D, you can't do that. And, well, we often need to do things where we'll use the Spider to do very, very, very high detail, but we'll do the Leo for lower detail areas, and we want to go faster. There's no reason to spend the time on a slower scanner and spending client money like that, when in reality, it works just fine. So, yeah, and having everything work in one software is so much better. Luke said, have you had any good success using an iPhone for 3D scanning for some out in the field, quick, dirty scanning? Nope, because I use Android. So, I can't. So, I have a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. FJ Perk says, if you think Artec is good, you should look at Zeiss scanners. I know. And in fact, Artec just partnered with Zeiss for some stuff. Dreams Void with the £2. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting the ad-free content that we do here live on the channel. But yes, I have seen and used Zeiss scanners. The problem with the Zeiss scanners is they almost never come up for sale used. And I normally buy a lot of my Artec scanners used. Someone else can eat the depreciation. I don't need to do that. Someone else can do that. So yes, Zeiss, like a hexagon arm, a ferro arm, a Zeiss would get way better detail than what I'm showing you right now. However, it's not necessary. The detail, I could get one of my EVAs and do it with the EVA, and it would be more than appropriate for this without a single problem at all. Luke said that's the right answer. I've got an S25 Ultra, but also a iPad 12 Pro Max or iPhone 12 Pro Max for work stuff. That's fair. Does Samsung does not have a depth camera? They do not. But I have a OG occipital structure scanner. And like, this is not that bad of a laptop to carry as far as scanning laptops go. It only weighs like 5.5 or 6 pounds, which, you know, for a scanning laptop, it's actually pretty decent. Elliot Markley said, I work at a tool repair shop. Think pneumatic impact guns, electric drills, etc. Are there any inexpensive scanners that are able to capture small plastic parts that are discontinued? Yes, you will fight with the software. And if you need, the isotropic remesh is done. And it took 427.4 seconds. It gives me time in seconds. I don't understand why. It could give it to me in minutes, but it gives it to you in seconds because screw you for asking. Yes, there are. So like the Metro X, the Raptor Pro, those are relatively affordable blue light laser scanners. However, you're gonna struggle more with the software. And if you do need to go into CAD for whatever reason, that gets to be very complicated. And understand, I could go through and sandblast this part, clean off all the old paint and stuff, or I can just take this into CAD and reverse engineer it and be done way faster. And that's ultimately what we're gonna do. We're gonna have this converted to a step file where we're gonna be able to work on it from there. Things like, here, I'll go back to the, well, you guys can still see it. If we look at the top of the part, it's not round anymore. It's not round from people touching it, sun and damage. It's just over time, that got out of round. You can see the curvature in the edge there. You can see how the bottom curves up some as well. I'm guessing that's shrinkage on the cast iron itself. And you can even see some of the seam on the cast iron part. Although that could be, nope, that's the part. I'm like, that could be my scan. Nope, that's the seam line on the cast iron part. I am on top of a piece of dirt and I can feel it. There's nothing worse than when you're using a mouse on it with a piece of dirt under it. Oh, that was so terrible. But yeah, so that would be fine. How effective scanning with photos and a turntable these days? With the right software, it's really good. In fact, Artec lets you do that with photos for your texturing. And we used to use Agisoft Photo Scan. That's what we used to use for like proper photogrammetry arrays. Your big issue is making sure that you maintain a set distance from the part. So often you'll see turntables, but with one line of cameras, and you have cameras from the bottom, middle, and top. You normally want like 8 to 10 cameras, 8 to 12 minimum for that one arm, and then the part either spins or the actual camera erasement. It's easier for the part to spin, and that will do the photos. As long as you have a way to rebuild all of that, it's a really, really, really good method. It will get you much higher detail than any handheld scanner could ever do, simply because of, you're taking, let's say they're 40 megapixel photos and you're taking 12 of them at every step. You're getting into gigabytes worth of data within only a couple of shots of the cameras. The hard thing is triggering all the cameras at the same time, and if you're capturing people, you have to have a massive array of cameras, not just one. So, yeah, bit of a fun one there. Mike Jones said, hey, that's cool. Have you played with image to 3D model AIs like Trellis? Pretty amazing. Wouldn't it be good for preserving accurate details as it makes stuff up it doesn't see? I have not. We tried using ChatGPT to make models for a video. That video didn't even do well either. But we've got CAD skills and we've got designers. Like, ultimately, it's not that big of a need for us personally. I mean, that's what the hole filling algorithms are. They're just making stuff up in between. Luke with the £5 and retracted the message. Oh, Luke, what were you gonna say? You gave £5, greatly appreciated, but you were gonna, you had something in there about Smurf. And right as I was reading it, the message retracted. So, what did it say? I'm curious, now I wanna know. Thank you either way, boss, greatly appreciate it. Plus you don't sandblast off the history of the part. Well, they need to sandblast this part. I don't know why they're sandblasting it, but the client needs to come back and get it for sandblasting purposes. So we don't have an option. It will be sandblasted at some point. So, you know, we got to do that. Jeff says, going to CAD from any scan is the same. It doesn't matter the software. An STL is an STL, step is a step. It does matter the software. I can generate, and that's all in the construct area. So I can go through and generate my primitives and get a very close step file out of this before we export it out of this program. Now I'm gonna do a few steps of smoothing because realistically, we can smooth out some of the detail. It's not gonna remove any of the historic value, but it will simply make it easier to work with, especially down here at these areas. This was flame cut. Like, to give you an idea, they cut this with an oxyacetylene torch from what I can see. This appears to be original casting, but that side was definitely cut with a torch. At some point, I didn't do it, but at some point it was cut with a torch. Let's see. There's a project I saw called OpenScan. Yeah, the OpenScan guys. So we've been in contact with the OpenScan people, and I'm gonna texture it right now. Yeah. How many polygons does it have right now? Okay, 5.3 million. That's a lot of polygons, to be clear, for a model that's like less than 200 millimeters tall. But that's fine. You can easily decimate. You can't add polygons. So it's easy to remove them. It's hard to add them. But yeah, OpenScan Mini looks like a really cool process. My concern with OpenScan Mini is that they're using other scanners as comparison, but at the same time, they're not verifying that all the elements are the same. Things like temperature and humidity can really impact the quality of an overall part. So you gotta be careful with that stuff. Let's see, gamma correction. I want darker. This part's actually darker than it looks. We've got studio lights. That makes up for a lot of the colors, but good enough. And it will texture it. Oh, I gotta turn on the texture. There's texture. There's your, there it is. There's your final model. Like, it's that simple. Yes, I mean, I can go get a different scanner. If you guys want to see a different scanner, I'm totally happy to do it. But yeah, you can overlay photos on top of Artex scans. Yes, you can. And that is actually quite nice to do. Although, honestly, the scanner gets just fine on its own. He said, thanks for being a great guy and fun to meet a Smurf. Oh, thank you, Luke. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, it was great meeting you too. Wiffy Sec says it's photogrammetry scanner that runs with a pi cam and some motors to spin the part. Yeah, and for most people's needs, it would be more than appropriate. So, yeah. James Kerbal's asking, any plans for Rocky Mountain? Dude, I am trying. It is so expensive to go out to Rocky Mountain this year. It's like, I want to, but at the same time, oh my God, it's so expensive. So I gotta be careful. We are seeking a sponsor for that event, so I gotta figure that out. Mike Johnson has been addicted to it. Make an AI image with words, then have a 3D model. Printing of it is pretty wild, from words to real monitor hands. Yeah, I mean, that is a really, really cool feature. Again, I kind of worry about what data sets it was trained on and stuff like this. Robert asks, what's the longest print we've successfully done? That's going to depend if you're talking like one piece or multi-piece. I'm like half tempted to go get the Raptor. You guys want me to go get the Raptor? Should I go get it and show you some of the issues with using the Raptor on stuff like this? Do you want to? Does anyone want to learn? If you want to learn, I'll go get the Raptor and we can play. But otherwise, I can go get other... Like, what other scanners would you like me to get? I've got an EinStar. The EVA doesn't really... I mean, I can go get the EVA. It's not really going to make sense with this. I will have to update the software. I have to download it because I haven't used it on this computer before. And I will have to find tracking dots. I think there are some in the case. But yeah, let me go get the Raptor. And we will see. It's going to be a real pain in the ass to scan this part with the Raptor. So let me go do that. I'm going to save this so I don't forget to save it. Let me... That's right. I need to move that somewhere. Our tech scans. New. Cuban Club. We can save it in there. It'd be really cool to go scan the club. I've actually danced at this club. They do a wonderful event for Repeal Day. And before my back injury, we were paid dancers to go out there for that event. And they fly in some of the greatest bartenders in the world. It's like $500 or $600 a head for that party. So it was awesome to be there, to be a paid dancer, and get to drink really, really awesome cocktails. All right. Yeah, let's go get the Raptor. I'll be back. Give me a couple of minutes to go and get it. Rara says I have a head injury. I got a back injury, so, you know, between the two of us, we're like half a useful human. Okay, well, we'll see how far... I'm going to leave the microphone on me, so we'll see how far the microphone gets inside of the shop here. Ugh. We have a lot of parts being made right now, and so I don't have a lot of space. I see the Raptor. I am hoping that there are tracking dots in here. I just found some tracking dots sitting on a shelf. So I'm going to grab those tracking dots too. All right. Raptor. Tracking dots. Yes, I did. I used to be a semi-professional dancer. I guess technically a professional dancer when you look at it. I did a lot of swing dancing. I've danced on battleships, at big events, small events, stuff like that. That's actually how I met Amber. We met dancing. Okay, so I am going to remove my laptop from the screen here. That way, I can go find the software. I gotta go find the software. Let's get the scanner out and I'll show you what the scanner looks like. So this is the OG CR Scan Raptor. It was sent to us to use it in a video. And I could never get it working. Like, at all. I was never able to get this thing running properly, at least. Did it come with... Yeah, let's say, I don't know if it came with a calibration plate. It did. Calibration plate, scanner. Okay, it does come with targets, but I have other targets, so we'll just use those. There's our calibration plate. I'm gonna open these boxes. Woo, I just had a client pay us very nice amount of money. Okay, let's do... What am I thinking of here? CR Scan Raptor. CR Scan Raptor software. Oh, firmware as well. Okay. We'll download the latest of each. The latest publicly available. That's what we're going to do, latest that is publicly available. Because if it's not publicly available, yeah, doesn't make a ton of sense. A CR download? What the hell is a CR download file? Creality. Oh, you're still downloading. Got it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get all the accessories out because its accessory bin is a little bit odd. It comes with like this whole mess of connectors. They all fit into a box. I gotta figure out who sent me the scanner because it wasn't Creality. It was one of their resellers that sent the scanner over. I'm a bad person for not remembering who did it. Oh, cool. It's a wall wart. I hate wall warts. Do you have jobs where you just scan? How do you price that out, incorporate the price of the scanner? Yes, we have a lot of jobs where all we do is just scan. In fact, that's my preference because at that point, I'm just providing scan data and nothing else. And it makes it really, really easy for us to do our jobs, right? We can literally provide the deliverables before we leave location from what we're doing. So like from a business standpoint, that's awesome. As far as how we price, it depends on the scanner. So things like the Spider, we charge a little bit more for because it does take longer per hour. However, it does get higher resolution. Things like the Leo we don't charge as much for because it is a more versatile scanner, but it can't do a lot of small parts. But it all just kind of depends on what you're scanning. So like different industries allow for different levels of price points. And the industries that we scan in, we do all right. All right, that's the nice way of saying we know how to charge. And I also really like scanning. To be clear, you should be charging at least a couple $100 an hour to use like professional grade scanners. You have to, because otherwise you never pay them back in a reasonable time frame. Okay. Got to install the software. We've got our USB cable, which is very nice on the CR Scan Raptor because the power and USB are all on one cable, which is so nice. Literally, Artec is one of the only scanners that I own that don't do that. This is a per hour project, so this exact project is a per hour project, and that is at the customer's request. It is a per hour project. We do also like by the project jobs because they do tend to pay more. However, you know, there's just some issues with that. So like when we go do scanning for sports teams, it is a per day because they almost always use us for more hours than what the day rate is. So the day rate is more money up front because you bill it up front rather than on the back end. But the client gets a much better deal because, you know, they're taking risks ahead of time. Let's see if that's enough. Nope. Okay. I can't use the webcam. That's okay. No, don't. So I just blocked Creality's ability to talk to an outside network. Plug it in. And we will go ahead and switch so you guys can see what the laptop looks like right now. So it's just letting us know. Oh man, so the Raptor scanner has not identified the IR camera. Show a warning with an exclamation mark in device manager. Please uninstall the Windows update packages. I should be really clear with you. You don't want your software to require you to uninstall Windows updates to use it. That's a problem. Also, this is literally the most recent version of the software. Why the hell is my computer... Why is it using so many cores right now? What is going on? Look at the utilization on this computer right now. Why is it using so much resources? There is no valid reason for it to be using this much resource for downloading something. This is why I have problems with cheap scanners and their crappy software. Anyways, Nepo's here. Hi, Nepo. Let me see. Raba said, I have been wanting to scan cars for people since I live near a racetrack, just don't know how to get started. Oh, dude, have fun with that. Scanning cars sucks. So you'll need a scanner that's capable of doing a wide field of view. You want one that's reasonably portable. The cars can't be shiny. They can't have anything clear. They can't be gloss black. So you're going to have to do things like dust the car, spray it down with scan spray, use other methods like I often will take baby powder, which is normally just cornstarch, and throw it on the cars. But when we do scan high-end cars, we also schedule a detailer. So what we end up doing is we tell the person, I do not want the car clean. I want the car dirty as you can humanly have it. And I'm going to make it dirtier. But when the scan is done and we're happy with the data, we're going to bring in a professional detailer, detail the car for you, and that will all be included in your price, right? Ethan's dad said cars would be a huge job. Photogrammetry would probably suffice. Nah, you could use something like the EinStar Vega or the Morocco Plus to do those. It would work, but you're gonna run into issues with tracking. It's why I like my Leo. It is much better at scanning cars. And we literally did this at Shining 3D. They wanted to compare the Leo to the Libre for scanning outdoors in the sun on a white car, and the Leo absolutely wiped the floor with the Libre. However, when we went inside and we did some scanning of small parts, the Leo didn't even pick it up, where the Libre had a beautiful scan of it because it also has a crosshatch blue line laser scanner, which is super, super dope on it. FJ Prince says, or just use a LiDAR scanner like the Artec Ray, not mentioning the fact that it is a $60,000 scanner. But yes, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. So. Let's see. Arthur says, I have the Raptor myself, and it is an absolute CPU hog. Really looking forward to see how the Omen does with it. It should do just fine, but if it doesn't, I can promise you it's not my computer. Mike Jones says, I could grab a screenshot of that poll, have a model in 5 minutes up on Thingiverse. Won't be accurate, but maybe it would be cleaner. Now you preserve history and restored it. JK. So if you want to actually deal with proper historical preservation, what you want to do does not suffice. For the average user, that's perfectly fine. And by all means, if you know how to do it, great. But most people don't. So it's not something that we've ever played in. I would rather roll the dice on my... And the program just closed itself. That's cool. Well, I guess I'm going to minimize Chrome. Thanks for closing and letting me know. Luke said, all I'm hearing is win the lottery and get a good scanner. Or buy one used. You can find... I saw a Space Spider, which is the model above this. The Space Spider has better control over its temperature. That one was like $9,000, which is a pretty good deal for used. Performance test report. I'm sure it's fine. I would like you to just use the laptop GPU, thanks. You dingus. Why are you doing this? I don't want that. Go away. Niet. The Wi-Fi bridge is cool though. That I do think is actually pretty damn cool. Scanner undetected, which is interesting because it definitely shows green for me. This is literally why I'm not a huge fan of these scanners, right? Like, I'm not going to uninstall Windows updates to use your scanner. I'm gonna be real clear with you. That's not happening. Like, we're not even gonna get close to doing that. All right, let's unpower the scanner. And now let's plug it back in. No device. Okay, let's see if it looks like that in Device Manager. Yep, it does. So we literally can't use it because of Windows updates. I can't do the firmware update because it can't see the scanner, because Creality doesn't know how to make a product that actually works with Windows updates. Look, if we open it again, it's gonna show us, it's gonna show us that we need to uninstall special service packages. So this is literally why I have expensive scanners, because crap like this doesn't happen. I'm now getting a phone call. Let me see who's calling me. Someone from Texas. I'm not going to answer that. I will call them back. But as a fan, you should say it and I'll answer your call on stream. Yeah, no, I am absolutely not going to uninstall Windows updates. No, get the hell out of here. Absolutely not. Not a snowball's chance in hell. Now, so there you go. The CR Scan Raptor. It is unable to work on an updated computer. Because reasons. Let me go find my EinStar. Because I don't want to just leave this off with a Creality scanner being a Creality scanner. Let me go find my EinStar. Where is my EinStar? Should be over here. Oh wait, no. It was moved to the other scanners. There it is. Oh. Back! I knock things over. I'm very clumsy at the moment. I'm on my way out, I promise. I'm working on it. I need an adult. All right. I'm good. I got my EinStar. Here's the EinStar. Literally, this is doing nothing, and it's just hogging the CPU. Absolute garbage. In fact, we're going to uninstall it because I don't want that garbage on my system anymore. Like, sorry, Creality, if you can't make a software that actually works, then it doesn't deserve to stay on my PC. So, yep. Andrew Rogers, the $10 for the Windows Update Fund, except it's the Windows Unupdate Fund. I have to uninstall Windows updates to get the CR Scan Raptor to work. I will not be doing that, and neither should you. If a company cannot make a software that runs perfectly fine with Windows updates, you probably shouldn't use the scanner or the software. I'm getting off of this high horse. So, I guess I went and got the Raptor for nothing. So, let's, and I was praising it. It's I was praising because its hardware is really good. But again, like, a great scanner can be absolutely crippled by bad software. And, like, need I say more? Like, this is literally case in point for this exact thing happening. Oh, Nepo gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, my dear. Arthur, Ruin, Lisa, Buckwild, and Raven all got memberships. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the membership donations. There will be some behind-the-scenes content from Construct 3D coming out in the next day or two, which would be really cool. I have missed some comments, so I want to go back up and read them. Make sure. Let me see. Yeah, real scanner would be handy for accurate scans, for mods and whatnot. AI thing would be fancy for image generation. I tried hitting it with a hammer. Not yet. Give it time, though. Strange, the Creality software works on my Windows 11 installed with the latest updates. Yep, doesn't for me. Funny coincidence, I haven't updated my Windows since January. I keep putting it on pause. They have a customer. Anybody want to buy a Creality paperweight? Yeah. Probably Windows Defender hanging it up. I couldn't install Mantle drivers because Defender was eating 60% of the CPU. No, it was fine. It was just a couple of the cores were at like full bore. Let's see. Check to make sure it's a Windows fault. Serious, the Defender prevented me. No, it was totally fine. They literally said the way to fix it is to uninstall Windows updates. So, what if it needs an older version of Windows to be installed? Yes, that's what it wants. But I don't want that. So, let me see. Here, let's see the last time this thing was updated. Nope, it's not fully updated. It actually has some updates to do. Let's see update history. So the last update was 12/12 of 2025, so it's almost a month out of date. And it still doesn't work. So, not my problem. If your scanner doesn't work, I'm not gonna use it. And I'm gonna recommend that nobody else uses it either. Sorry. All right, the EinStar. A older Windows to update firmware then allow it to run on newer ones. Like, that's what I did. I'm running it on older Windows. I'm not reverting my Windows because they can't figure it out. That's not my responsibility, and it's not your responsibility either. This is the Shining 3D EinStar. It is a very, very powerful scanner for the money, and I don't have its software either, so I will need to get that as well, which means I need to hide my computer from you guys while I go and do that. And Badoop. All right, let's go get the software. Mining 3D EinStar software. Looks like the last version was December 30th. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we'll get that downloaded and we're going to get the thing unboxed here. I hear a big truck backing down the road. I don't know why. We've got our USB cable. We're going to have to calibrate the EinStar, which is totally fine. I don't mind doing that. We have our power cable. Also, kudos to Shining 3D and Creality, for that matter. The cases that these scanners come in are very nice. I really, really like the Shining 3D case. Like when you buy the EVA from Artec, it comes in a cardboard box. It's a $20,000 scanner. It comes in a cardboard box. To me, that's not really all that acceptable, but that's what they do. What do we have in here? We have a screen cleaner, some dots. It's been a long time since I've used this scanner. I bought this with my money. This was not provided to me, but I bought it during its launch event. So I have a OG Shining 3D EinStar, and I do like it. It's quite a nice scanner. Let me see what's going on and why. Yeah, for some reason, my 5 gig network is not making it into the garage right now, so we will just do the 2.4. Where's the, does this not come with a power cable? Did I miss something? Does it not come with a power cable? I guess not. Okay. Fine. I guess you can do that. It didn't come with a IEC cable. Or I have misplaced it. Option 2 is probably more likely. We're done using the spider, so we can plug in the EinStar. Once again, it has the super awesome cable. That means you only have to deal with 1 cable rather than 2. With the spider, I have to deal with 2 cables, and it sucks, to be honest with you. This is also a structured light scanner, so it'll be very interesting to see how it stacks up. All right. Get this plugged in. I do like their connector. It's like a locking ZIF connector, it appears to be. Very, very nice connector to have. Oh, that's right. It has a little tiny fan in it. It's so adorable. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of Revo Point Pop first gens for sub 250. Good deal or not worth it? Not worth it. And the Pop 2 for 350, both would have haggle room. No, not worth it. That sucks. I'm going to give Creality a pass. Must be a pain working with Windows, but they should have gotten it right. No, literally every other scanner brand gets this right. So, Rara said, would I recommend the Libre or the Leo for scanning cars, full cars, and car parts? So, car parts, the Libre will do a better job, but full cars, the Leo will do a better job. So, I would recommend. It depends if you do you really want to spend like $30,000 on a scanner? That's what you have to decide for yourself if you want to spend that kind of money. If you are in the business of spending that kind of money, either one of them are pretty good. I don't have a ton of seat time on the Libre. I will say my favorite feature of the Libre, and it's a really dumb thing, but it's USB-C. It runs internally, like it doesn't need to be connected to a computer, but you can power it from USB. So I can use a battery bank to extend its battery and not have to buy expensive batteries. Like, that's such a good thing to have on a scanner. Why wouldn't I want this? I want it, to be clear. It's exactly what I want. So, yeah. We're downloading 1.2.2. And I'm assuming if it needs any firmware, it will update there. It does take a bit because there's a concrete wall between me and the router. So it takes a second. But yeah, it very much depends. I've always used my Leo because I don't own a Libre. So I would say the best scanner is one that you already own. Is there something on my shirt? Oh yeah, it's the rust. It's the rust from that I got on my shirt. Yeah, the best scanner is the one you already own. Right? The best scanner for the job is one you already own. I'm sure there are better scanners out there, but the best scanner is one you already own. James Kerber says, I love using my Morocco. I would think like a Morocco Plus would be a pretty decent scanner. I want to get one. Revo Point wants to send me one, but the contract they keep sending me says I can't compare it to other scanners. But they wanted me to make a video comparing it to my Artec Leo, which I'm happy to do, but when your contract says something other than what you're talking to me about, there's a bit of a problem. So We have never gotten that figured out. I should reopen that because I do want to get the Vega. I'd like to compare the Vega to the Morocco Plus. I think that's a very fair comparison to make because there are very few of these, like, I don't need a tethered computer scanners on the market. James Kerbal says, if you come into Rocky Mountain, I'll let you play with mine. I have played with them before. In fact, I played with a pre-production one at East Coast Rap Festival a few years back. It's a wonderful scanner. I think that they're great. They're not certifiable, so you can't like certify accuracy on them. So for the work that we do, it might not be as useful, but like scanning people, you could do that all day with something like that and not have a single problem. All right, time for us to install the Shining 3D software now. We'll see what happens. Oh, look, a user agreement that I'm probably not going to like. A privacy notice that I'm not going to like. Things I'm just going to click through because I just don't feel like reading it right now. I'll read it later. Because what we're going to do is as soon as everything's done, we're going to turn off the internet to this computer. So then we don't have to worry about it talking. Yes. What the hell? Windows Firewalls block some of the features. Yeah, no, I don't know what that is. Nope, I don't want that either. All right, looks like it's loading. We're going to make sure that it loads. I'll let you guys see what's going on here. Badoop. Oh. You apparently have to log in. Well, that's cool. Great. Let me go ahead and turn off my laptop again and figure out what my account is, because I don't know it off the top of my head. I should be able to use a software without logging in my personal opinion. Ooh, I don't know if I have it. Let's see. No. Cool beans. I gotta log in, and I guess I'll just register. Oh wait, there's a guest mode. There's a guest mode. In this mode, calibration scanning operations are not supported. Well, that's stupid. Ugh. Fine, I will register. I don't want to, but I will. Probably hide the camera while typing the password too. You can't see enough of the password. It's not an issue. Deny cookies. You have rejected cookies and cannot use the main function of the website, including registration. If you want to continue, you can refresh the page and select again. Well, then that's, oh my God. Look at this. This is stupid. Like this is stupid, right? I want to deny cookies. I don't want to do it. And it literally won't let you do it. So then why get my permission if you're not going to let me use without God, I hate when companies do that. That is just very frustrating. Ugh. Yeah, but I know it forces you to ask, but I should be able to deny it without like anything going wrong. You know what I mean? My next issue is getting... Oh, I do have I do have an account, apparently. I'm going to reset my password. Let's see. Yeah, oh, look at that. It does have my scanner. So it does have it. That's what I want to see. Okay, I have a password now. It is a very complicated password, so that's fun. What am I doing? I can literally just turn off some of the cameras so you guys can't see things. I can just do that, and I don't have to worry about the top-down camera seeing things. Okay, I will have it remember the password. Let's see. Damn it, that didn't work. Ack. Interesting. Let's try that again. That's right. Ooh, I wonder if it's case sensitive. You know what? I bet I need to reboot the software because it's probably going to take a second for that to work. Give me a second. Maybe they have to ask you, but they legally don't have to allow you to use it. Yeah, that could be. Use German swear words as passwords. They're often long enough. I love that. Absolutely love that. Okay, let's try this again. You should not have to log in for software like this, in my personal opinion. I don't think that you should need to do that. That'd be like you having to log in to use a slicer. Right? You just, there's no reason for it. No. It doesn't want it. It does not want to take it. Well, that sucks. Oh my God. What in here is going to be, I don't know what's going to be case sensitive. This is my issue. I don't know if the email is case sensitive or not. Wrong username or password. All right, forgot password. I don't. Hate this. Remember, we had a ready-to-go file in 27 minutes, including a computer reboot. It's been another hour, and we have nothing useful from any of these brands, to be clear. What do you mean verification? Oh my God. There. Jesus Christ. 1 minute for the code? Come on now. That's ridiculous, Shining 3D. My email doesn't update that fast. Y'all, come on. Y'all got to get with the damn program on this. Like, this is not a great user experience. Come on. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and you're probably not gonna let me view it. "15 seconds. Nope. Nothing has come in. So they want me to use a code, but I can't use a code. Like, you guys have to understand how frustrating this is from a user perspective. Because, like, it shouldn't be this complicated at all to use a product. There's the code. The code came in late. All right. Just make sure. See if that works. Hello? Oh my God, the code failed. You know, it is really, really hard to like using a program when their own systems don't work the way you need them to work. Like, they only give you a minute to input this code, but it takes them a minute over to send. It demands a sacrifice. Yeah, it's going to demand me putting it back in the case as a sacrifice. Again, it's been an hour on top of the spider. The spider gave us a beautiful result. I just had to restart the computer. No big deal. And total, I spent 27 minutes, and I got a perfect part. We have 15 seconds remaining. I still don't have the email. Yeah, do I pay more money for the other scanner? Yes, I do. I do. Ooh, I got it. Is it gonna be good enough? Damn it! Come on! This is so ridiculous. If you can't send me a code in a reasonable amount of time, it's not my fault. Like, I promise you, it's not. All right. They get a third try. And if it doesn't work on the third try, we put the scanner away. Because at some point, there's only so much that I can do. But that is obtusely frustrating for me. Because I want to show this to you guys. I want to show you the differences in the scanners. But if I'm literally kneecapped by my ability to do the job because they put arbitrary time limits on things, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Shining 3D, you have a local office. I'm going to send this to my local rep. This is stupid. You should not have a code that expires in 1 minute when it takes your system longer than 1 minute to send the code most of the time. I have 9 seconds and the email has not come in yet. There it is. 3, 7, 4, 3, 5. I don't think it worked. Nope, it didn't work. Like, this is absolutely stupid. This is stupid. This is just stupid. There's no reason that I should have to go through this. Do you see how frustrated I'm getting right now? I'm getting frustrated because the system just isn't working. You know what? Let's text the rep right now. Let's text the rep. There. Now he knows I'm doing it. One more try, Shining 3D. You get one more. Click on the blue object. Cool. And I'm training AI at the same time. Like, you're friggin' welcome. Insane. If this doesn't work, I might have to use like a personal email. because that I can at least get it to update faster. But because my corporate email doesn't update as fast as it's needed to, I presume that's part of the problem. Sorry, y'all. I know you guys don't want to just watch me struggle, but it is a little stupid. You have to admit it. When you've burned 10% of your phone battery, just F5ing your email, basically. Okay, there it is. 64125. Confirm. Did we get it? God bless it! All right. Screw you. I'm doing the company Gmail account. Because clearly Outlook is not working. That is absolutely terrible. Don't blame the system. No, I'm going to blame the system on this one. That is truly a bad system. Select the cube. Yeah, because it's a Gmail account. Oh, yeah, it comes in way faster on the Gmail account. Plenty of time there. It says verification code check failure. Are you serious right now? All right, I'm going to just register under the company Gmail account and be done with this. Yeah, email code should be 5 minutes minimum. I totally agree with you. Okay, got to get a code for that. Again, another effing code. By the way, it is just obliterating my computer right now. Jeez, man. How insane. Just ridiculous. Successfully registered. All right. Login. Holy crap. All right. Fine a friggin' Lee. Dude. All right. We're in like sin. That only took 20 minutes, I think. All right. Good Lord have mercy. All right, so we need to go ahead and recalibrate this thing. So let's do that. Gonna get our plate out here. Oh my. The plate's been in the bag the whole time. How's the plate gotten dirty? I've used a scanner like half a dozen times. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Whatever. All right. Okay, you want it like that. I just did all this. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Okay. Yeah, 1 eternity later. Exactly. Exactly. All right. See, the problem is I've stored the plate in the bag that they sent, but it's gotten really dirty. Like, it's not my fault either. I've kept it really clean. It doesn't like that. Oh, I need to do it like this. Okay. Are you running? No, you're not. Okay. Okay, white balance successful. Great. Quitting calibration. Guess I got to get a new bag for this because the bag, not literally, it's been in the bag in the case since I bought it. All right. New project group. Not going to save it there. Also, we're turning off your internet connection because you don't need that. Okay. It is an object. Do hybrid. You say you can go down to 0.2. Not a problem. We'll go down to 0.2. We'll go down to 0.2. Don't you worry. Do 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 do. Okay. Again, remember this thing weighs over 20 kilos or so. Okay. We want data quality indicator. What else we got for our scan settings? That's probably all fine. Okay, that's good so far. What I do want to do is have open my okay. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. That's got most of what I need. All right. I want to see how well they've done their RAM utilization. Oh, we're losing track in a bunch. I want to get the top of that. Okay. And so far, that's not bad. It's just really small on the screen, which is kind of a dumb thing to say, but it is. So far, I'm actually pretty impressed by this. They've definitely done better with their resource management, though. which is good to see. Tracking is really good. All right. We're going to send the table back up so I don't have to bend too much when I'm looking at it. I'm going to move you guys so you see the laptop more. That's the Artex software. We don't need that. We need that and that. Yeah, so previously I had issues with memory leaks in their program. So far, this actually looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, see, the thing that's difficult is it's tough to determine. So I guess I need to add another scan because I couldn't really get the bottom very well. So, yeah. I wonder if it's related to the particles from the material of the bag. Oh yeah, it absolutely is. 100% it is. Delete your scan, show or hide, preview. I want to add more data. All right, so we can rectangular that area and just delete it. Oh, process generate point clouds first. All right, I'm gonna generate the point cloud first. See what happens. You're coming along for the ride. We're just waiting for things to go through. Just waiting for point clouds. Yeah, Nepa says I don't feel like waiting for things. Okay, there's our point cloud. No, honestly, that ain't bad. Oh. The texture camera will show you what the camera sees. So we turn off the texture, that actually shows you what the model itself looks like. That is, and see, I've said this about the damn EinStar. It's better than it should be for the money. The problem is you can't get calibration numbers from it. But like, dude, that's a sub $1,000 scanner on a $1,000 laptop compared to a $25,000 scanner. Like, yeah, okay, the $25,000 scanner looks much nicer. The software was easier. It doesn't require a lot of the same BS. But like, dude, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. Now, can I add a scan to this easily? Oh yeah, I can. I can totally add a scan to this. Sweet. All right, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna add a scan to it. Okay, I'm gonna move. I want to be closer. I hate that that is so small. That is so annoying that that is so small. So let's see if we can scan the bottoms in all of this. Stuff that we haven't scanned prior. We'll see how well it does with tracking everything. I'm going to give credit where it's due. It's actually doing a pretty decent job on the tracking. Whoop. Part fell toward me a little bit. I want to make sure that I capture the bottom. That's handling it really, really well. All right. I mean, again, credit where it's due. Ugh. That's pretty good. All right, so let's generate point cloud. What? No. Why? Why? Why do you do that? Well, I just showed my company email on the chat. That's fun. Don't be a player. Don't blame the player, blame the game. Yeah, well. Here, I thought you were going to rage quit because of the EinStar. Well, I recognize the faults in the system, so I do what I can to try to deal with it. If that's not worth a like, I don't know what the hell is. Like the stream and such. Waiting for the point clouds to generate. Generating point clouds. We're going to go back to me. Also, I got to figure out what we're doing for the 50,000 subscriber celebration. I don't. We have people say, you know, we should bring on smaller creators and give them like 5 minutes or something like that. I'm totally down for it. I just don't watch a lot of creators in this space because I don't want my opinions to be molded or modified by others. So I try not to watch a lot of 3D printing content. So I'd be open to it, but we would just have to, you know, get stuff from the community on that. We could do a giveaway, but some people were saying, they're kind of tired of the giveaways, which I get. Could do a giveaway. We could do a build stream where I'm just like maybe building. I need to build a shelf here in the shop. Maybe that's what we do, but that just seems kind of stupid for 50,000. Like, I feel like we have to have a celebration of sorts. So, I mean, Luke, you can email me crap if you want. I'm just going to block your email. I mean, it's a very simple process to how all this works. All right, let's look at these parts. I am. Wait, what the hell? Oops. How do I go back? Hit the wrong button. I guess I just got a preview. I hit the wrong button. I wasn't trying to do that. Dang it. It doesn't let me cancel, so now we're stuck waiting. At least the weather here has been okay. I know we're grid tied right now. I know we're not running on pure solar because it's not all that sunny, but let me see what kind of power we're running right now. Why is that charging so high? That battery pack should not be charging that high. Yeah. The battery pack's at 93% for some reason. I don't know why. It must have overcharged itself. I only let it go to 85. I really just want to go back.
I mean, honestly, I don't want to simplify it at all. I don't want a max triangle. Still small holes with like a 20 perimeter remove spike. Yeah. Dude, honestly, that is... Yeah, okay, it's not as good. Like, don't get me wrong. It's nowhere near as good as the Spider, but it is definitely more than 1/25th the cost. Like, I've said this before. I want to look for hole filling. Let's preview hole filling. Like, dude, that part, that would be serviceable. Now, is it good enough for historical preservation? Because I can't pull real, like, certification numbers from it, I don't know. Oh, man, that hole filling algorithm is pretty good, too. Yeah, no, that's great. I want to do a cutting plane tool, hold shift to create a straight line. Okay. Okay. Wow, Shining 3D software has gotten much better. Much better. I mean, look, for our use case, that might fly. That might even fly for what we're doing. I would want something better. Like something higher quality, but like... I've always said that this EinStar is still the best damn value for 3D scanners on the market. That's a free piece of software. Dude. I am once again impressed by the freaking EinStar. Like, okay, yeah, right? It didn't pick up the level of detail that the $25,000 scanner did. It didn't, right? It didn't get that. Like, certainly down here... You know, it didn't get anywhere near that level of detail. Damn, man. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Like, if you only got $1,000 and you already have a rip-roaring computer, because it can't run on a crappy computer. It has to run on a decent computer. If you've got a decent computer to run this on, son of a gun, you're going to have a great time. Yeah. As Luke says, it does one hell of a job for 1/25th the price. And that's the point. That's what I've said all along. Is the software as good? No. No, the software's not even close. Right? The Artec software is way better. It's way easier. And I guess you can do some sort of measurement. We're going to redo the text. I'm going to export it because I can. Andrew says, so what's the end goal here? Planning on cleaning those up and printing bucks to make castings from? That is entirely up to the customer. I don't actually know what their intentions are. I know they want to reproduce it, but I don't know if they're going to 3D print it, if they're going to cast it. I don't know. So that'll be up to the customer. Yeah. No, very, very happy. Very happy with that. Like, legitimately happy with that. So we're gonna save this as Cuban Club. Like, if all you got is a decent computer and $1,000, enter only letters and numbers. Oh, okay. Cuban Club. Fine. Yeah, okay, the software is not the greatest, but dude, it's free. My yearly software license for Artec Studio costs more than this entire scanner does with software.
And I'm sorry, but as these scanners get better, there's less and less and less reason to continue using the Artec software. I was wondering when Cedarburg was going to show up. I'm like, he'll show up at some point. Cedarburg will show up at some point. Eric, I need to print your handle for this because my biggest gripe on this scanner is it is so uncomfortable to use. Like this like C-clamp style grip is terrible. Eric made a grip for it that you hold like a pint glass and the buttons all still work. I've said from day one that this scanner is way better than it should be for the money. But in talking with Shining 3D, the biggest issue is they're not certifiable. And it is very much the luck of the draw. Depending on your scanner. Your scanner could be really, 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 really high res, or it could be kind of medium res, and there's no way to know because they're not certifying these. This is the gateway scanner to get you into the bigger, expensive scanners, but for the friggin' money, man, son of a bitch, that's good. The Nocturnes for $10. Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciated. Luke said, so what are some of the coolest things you've scanned that you can talk about? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is always the coolest thing that people, you know, think of, right? When I talk about the scanning work that we've done, Snoop Dogg is often the one. If you're into sports, we work with a lot of professional sports teams. I've done multi-million-dollar supercars. We've done yachts and boats and planes and helicopters, luxury vehicles. I've done parts for planes before. Yeah, it's probably going to be Snoop. Most people are going to think Snoop Dogg is the coolest thing that we've done. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with it. Eric said that's why I did spend quite a lot of time designing that handle. Yeah, if you go on to printables and look up EinStar handle, you'll find one. Now what we need to do is get a better like insert for the case. Right? Like, I don't think you can take this insert out. No, it's sewn in. But something so that, you know, you can more easily transport it. But yeah, Bearded, I'll post it in the Discord when we're done here. Yeah, you need that. If you have an EinStar, you need Eric's handle. It is so much better than using the stock thing. The problem is there's just like no place to put it. But I will say that is one of the nicest carrying cases that I've had for a scanner at that price point, period. So, how decent is a decent computer? My old laptop was a Ryzen 3750H, had 32 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 1650 4 gig. And it could run the Artec software, no problem. It was just slower. It had a memory leak issue with the EinStar software. Now I'm kind of curious to see if it would have it now. But it worked on that too. Obviously, the more horsepower you give it, the better. Often, you need a lot of RAM. These programs use a lot of RAM, and the EinStar program specifically, yeah, if you look, it's not very RAM efficient. If we look at what's using RAM right now, the scan service is using 3 gigs. EinStar is using 1.2 gigs. And Artec, 169 megabytes. That's it. That's it. That's all it's using. It's using 169 megabytes. Also, nice. And Artec actually tells you down here how much is in use and how much is free on the PC. I only have 32 gigs of RAM on this computer, and it seems to run fine. So, yeah. I start working on a Mac. I have no clue. Eric says apparently it does, but only on the M1 or later. So there you go. Snoop STL. I can't release Snoop STL. You guys have seen it though. Around mid-April every year, we like to remind people that we worked with Snoop Dogg. So, you know, just go back to April of last year. I'm sure we posted about it. We always do. Like we did printing for the Smithsonian, but we didn't ever do scanning for them. We've done scanning for museums. Think of an industry. I mean, I've scanned dead bodies. I scan a lot of dead bodies. Love that industry. That's a great industry. I mean, it's great money. We're doing a great thing for people. Like everything about that industry, I love.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of gross, but like, whatever, man. You're giving the dead a voice, and often that's important. I will say, since we have a smaller group here, we are looking to hire people at the moment. So if you are interested in joining the 3D Musketeers team, we are actively looking for someone to be a sponsorship director, sponsorship coordinator, that kind of thing for the company. So if you have experience working with brands, even working with YouTube channels, we would love to talk to you. If you don't have experience, but you maybe like to get some of your resume, if you have some sales background, maybe we can find a way to make it work. But we are actively hiring right now for a sponsorship director and a sponsorship coordinator. There will be, goals and things that need to be met. It is a base pay plus a commission. And as long as you're with that company, or as long as you're with our company and that company continues to work with us, you will receive that same commission for as long as it is. So something to note. Nepo says, it's 11 p.m. over here. I got to go to bed. Good night. Nepo, we need to figure out when I'm eating that candy that you gave me live on stream. We gotta figure out when we do that. So let me know. Obviously not tonight. Luke said, I gather scanning the dead is more for the case of retaining their likeness, etc. No, it's not. It is for the purposes of court documentation and documentation during the autopsies. So we witness the autopsies, we scan the entire process of the autopsy, and the purpose is, these are often like really, really rough cases, right? You don't have, it was just a regular car accident and they died. You don't have those, right? It's like, think of what like Law and Order SVU would be talking about. That's kind of the stuff that we end up seeing, or any of the Law and Order shows. So we would be seeing cases like that. And, it is rough. I have a therapist specifically that works with me on those types of projects so that I can kind of manage the mental load that comes with this. But ultimately, we're giving these people that can no longer speak the ability to defend themselves in court, which is really, really cool. I want to do more pieces like it. We don't 3D print it, it's just the data. But we capture everything to a sub-millimeter level where photos, if you miss it, it's too late. So you won't likely ever see us post videos about that just because of the, we're not Logan Pauling YouTube or anything, you know what I mean? But we might do a podcast episode. If I can get an ME to come on and talk about it with us, that might be fun to do that. Rara says, what scanner do you use? It is the Artec Leo. We have to provide certified calibrated results for that. And we actually calibrate the scanner not only to a calibration plate, but we calibrate it to their rulers as well. So we maintain their rulers in the scan space at all times so we can always validate sizing based upon the rulers that are inside of the scan. So yes, we are using a very expensive scanner for it. It's a $35,000 Artec Leo, but it is absolutely worth it for what we do. How did you get into that kind of work? Cars, items, planes, people, etc. I get, but body seems more out there. We got a phone call and we answered the call. They're like, you could do more of these. I'm like, well, what could I charge? And they gave me the rate. And I'm like, we will do more of these. And in sitting down talking with the medical examiners, they said, look, you will hear us make kind of what you might consider to be kind of like off-color, odd jokes, right? But they's like, that's how we deal with the fact that we're cutting people apart and learning their stories every single day. You're going to have an intimate understanding of these people, whether they like it or not. And your job is to help us give them a voice. Like traditionally, all we can do is show photos and provide evidence based on that. But if we miss something in our photos, the scan data is the thing that we would push to. And the last thing we want is to miss something in a photo for whatever reason. Maybe an SD card gets corrupt or something. And then a, known killer walks free. They flee the country and they start up a rampage in another country. If we can somehow punish those that have done bad and exonerate those that have done good, and we can use the right technology to do it, we're here for it. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. Third page crashed during the stream, bizarre. Yeah, someone sent me that the thumbnail wasn't loading on this either, so could be a YouTube thing today. I don't know. And like the Cuban Club, they called us, right? We talk about that we do restoration historic work. So like they called us and they're like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's not even very expensive to do it. This whole project should be right around, I'm guessing a near $1,000 by the time it's all said and done. You know, and that's with all the other work they need to do on it. I don't think it's going to go over that. So very good money for that. Luke said, wait, how many zeros after that 5 did you say? I'm in. Well, I will tell you, there are certain levels you can't exceed in those industries because of credit card purchasing requirements. So, yeah. So yeah, our goal is to scan all the cool stuff that we can. Oh, you know, I just noticed remaining memory, CPU 40%. Oh, remaining memory 40%, CPU 20%, GPU 35. It says it. It's a really dark text, but it does say it down there. But yeah, watch this. So this is what my computer currently looks like. Let me go ahead and close out the EinStar software and just watch. Yeah. All the utilization goes down to like 4%. Even with RTech open, my utilization is only at 7. Look how much RAM we dropped down. Like we just dropped quite a few gigs of RAM by doing that. Like, and now my fans are barely running again. So yeah, RTech Studio is better, but like Eric said, you can get 2 of these scanners every year for the price of the RTech Studio software. But, you know, Eric says, when it really consumes resources is when you do the scanning actively, though. It's true. Yeah. Peter Printer says, I used to do software support for protection agencies. I once had to remote in and analyze some files to make sure nothing was amiss and came across some crime scene photos. Cannot be unseen. Yep. There are cases where, you know, we go and you say, all right, what are we looking at today? They say, you don't want to know the story, but here's the case. Here's what you need to do. Okay. Works for me. I don't always need to know. How do I advertise my services? I kind of suck at that. We're going to be working on that. First, I want to do more, like, we're going to end up hiring someone to do 3D scanning sales, but I want to get YouTube kind of figured out first, with, you know, being able to support right now, because YouTube still loses us money. Even at 50,000 subscribers, because we have editors and all that kind of thing, we have staff. So my goal is to bring in someone to help remove that problem, make YouTube a moneymaker, and then I can be selective about the jobs that we take in the shop, and I can worry more about what we're doing and why we're doing it than just because we can. So, but yeah, how do we advertise? YouTube, we talk about it on YouTube, obviously. We show different scanners on YouTube. We have a website, but we don't do any paid advertisement outside of YouTube or anything like that. We are working on a review website. We have a writer on staff. I need a web person. If someone knows how to build websites, we use Divi to build our websites. So if you have skill set in that, email me too. Just YouTube at 3dmusketeers.com. So yeah. El Chavo de 64 says, thanks for doing more 3D scanning content. Yeah, it's not very popular in terms of streams, but I do think we're going to be utilizing it more. I've got a personal project with some scanning that I want to do. My brother got me one of those Android auto screens for the holidays because I drive a 23-year-old car and the mount for it is trash. It's hot trash. So I want to rebuild that mount and I want to mount it to my car without any extra BS to do it. I think it'd be cool. Brian Farmer says, hello there, isn't that the EinStar? Yes, EinStar and the RTech 3D Spider. This is literally the Gretzky brothers, okay? This is Wayne Gretzky and this is Greg Gretzky. Together, they're the most powerful brother team in the NHL. But Wayne over here has done 99% of the work and Greg has only made a few goals. But it's fine, Greg is still good. If you want to see the difference, oh, I already closed it. This is the scan from the Spider. The scan from the EinStar was actually really good. Like really good. It's just not certifiable. So if you don't need certification, it's totally fine. But yeah, excellent use case for 3D scanning, designing, and 3D printing a solution. Yeah, exactly. That was kind of my thought. Obviously, I'll be using more tech than what the screen itself costs. But when has that ever stopped YouTubers, right? That's never stopped us from making videos before. I'll go through some of the stuff we're working on. So we need to build a shelf in here. We need to decide how we're going to expand the business, whether we do a shipping container or like for a content-based shipping container, or we do a physical building. Very different price points for those two things. We're going to do a giant cat wheel for the cat. We're going to do a custom cat tree where you guys will be able to design parts for the cat tree, and we'll do kind of random updates with how she likes the different designs and things like that. We're going to do a catio project, I hope. I got to figure out what like the insurance stuff is on catios and how that works, even though it's not going to be permanently attached to the house. I gotta talk to my insurance broker about putting a catio so she can go outside and kind of enjoy the sun, but not roll around in the dirt like she likes to do. A lot of content's based around the cat. And then we have a whole testing series coming up where we are, and we'll build the entire rig live so you guys can get involved in it too. But we're gonna be doing a big heavy pulling rig or a compression rig to test out different materials, different temperatures on those materials, and ultimately see if we can beat Z Polymer's Polymer with a basic filament. Like, can PLA actually beat Polymer? Eric says, I think a business yurt would be fun. Yeah, until we get 140 mile an hour winds out here. Then it's, ah! Or as my shed saw, it's cartwheeling across my backyard. Luke said, I found similar on mine. I want to reproduce my dash in an 073 series as it has stupid slanted piece that should be more straight, which is why I want a 3D scanner to make it easier. It is harder than you think. The conversion to CAD is where the money is spent and where the effort is spent. So get good at being able to take a 3D model and reverse engineer it into CAD, or you're basically paying for Shining 3D has a software. It's like $2,000 a year, I think. There's, of course, Geomagics, which is about $10,000. And, or there's doing it the hard way, which is piece by piece. So it's DJLSD, archiving the world one triangle at a time. That's right. And we got this done already. It took 27 minutes, including a full computer reboot to get this part. And then it took us the better part of another hour and a half to get, we couldn't get the CR Scan Raptor to work. It just refuses to work. The EinStar, we had issues logging in, but once we got logged in, it worked an absolute treat and produced a beautiful model. Nowhere near as good as the Artec Spider, but it's 1/25th the price of the Spider. And like, you can buy 2 of these for what the software for the Spider cost me per year. So I've said it once and I'll say it again. One of the best bangs for the buck in 3D scanning out there, period. Especially if you already have the computer for it. If you don't have the computer for it, obviously the EinStar Vega or the Morocco Plus are great options, but you do need a decent laptop to do scanning, or you need a desktop that is somewhat portable, or the parts have to come to you. Not great for doing small stuff, like you're not going to be able to scan rings and small stuff with it, where I could easily scan and have scanned rings with this. I would show you all a ring that we've scanned. However, it is incredibly political, and we avoid politics on this channel. Because the only thing that we care about when it comes to business is money. I don't care what side of the fence you're on, your money is still green. And that's the color I care about. Eric said, it's great to 3D model with a 3D scan as a reference when you have odd parts like that. Just treat it as a reference rather than expecting an easily editable file. Yep. Beer Printer says, the EinStar is the only scanner I've ever owned, but as a beginner in the scanning world, it certainly is a fantastic piece of equipment to work with. Yep. There's Quick Surface for reverse engineering. It's like $450 a year for light. No shit. Might look into that. We have a dedicated person on staff for reverse engineering. Like, that's how often we do it. We just have someone that's their job. That's what they do. Miss LSD says, when I think we used to take a Kinect camera and 2 laser pointers back then. Back in my day, we used to use... Yeah, no, totally been there, done that, gotten the t-shirt. Oh, look, it's Mr. Pretty Boy Jacob Lord over here. This is my stream. Go get your own. I'll see you on Sunday. El Chavo says, do you have any recommendations for surface sprays in order to scan a shiny object? Yeah, A-Sub or At-Blime. Those are both, you know, the proper scanning sprays. Foot powder spray, a lot of people use. The problem is you have to wash it off. If you're doing a big car, I use baby powder or cornstarch. Amber's here. She says she literally has a minute to say hi and bye. Hi, Amber. Bye, Amber. The entire internet, all 27 of them, absolutely love you. Enjoy your day at work. I've been doing curls with this and my back hurts. Love you bunches. Have a good day. Yeah, but surface sprays. Use the legit stuff on stuff that matters. If it's a big car, just like totally throw a bunch of powder on it. You're fine. And if you're really, really rich, you can use that Florida snow, you know, if you really want. It says 64 for me. It was a joke because there's 27 tubes to the internet. It's fine. Yeah, Rara says, just checked out your website. Didn't realize how much 3D scanning services you provided. Yes. Yeah, I have over $250,000 in 3D scanners. Like, that's no joke. This is 25 grand in itself. We've got one of these. We have 2 Evas. We have a Leo and a Ray Gen 1, amongst a bunch of other scanners. So, yeah, it's fun. How did I acquire all the scanners, like the Leo, the Ray, business loan? Yeah, so we ended up taking out a loan for the scanners. Hilariously, I have used PayPal to buy them, and with a PayPal credit card, you can do 6 months, 0% interest. And so in that 6 months, if you can't make back the money for the scanner, then you shouldn't have bought it in the first place and you resell it, right? And so in my experience, we can do the 6 months, 0%, use the scanner a few times, pay for it, pay off the loan before it accrues interest, and boom, we're good to go. I have paid for scanners in cash before. I've bought scanners in literal $100 bills before. Yeah, done loans too from the bank, but the interest rate's too high. So, yeah. And yes, Ethan's dad says dry shampoo also works in a pinch. It does, you just gotta clean it off. Although I like dry shampoo better because it smells the best. Do I have my dry shampoo at? No. Dry shampoo smells the best out of all the scan sprays. It smells so good. I love the smell of it. Joe Russ says, careful, you might get a Lord lecture. Yeah. Miss LSD says, Quebec here, still got a few feats of the white stuff. Yeah, we got the white stuff too, but it's considerably more expensive than yours, and I don't have any of it here because that's illegal and expensive. Oh, a bunch of y'all said hi. Hi, bye, Amber says. The doctor says, but Jacob is prettier. Yeah, we all know he's prettier. Says, don't worry, I'm not sticking around, just doing my duty to like the video. Well, if you don't stick around, then our average view time goes down, Jacob. We've talked about this. Once you're in it to stay, homie. You gotta stay. Miss LSD said, dry shampoo, some do smell good, but others smell worse than ABS. The stuff I have is from Amber, so she would know. It's a white and purple brand. I totally forget what it is now, but it's good. I like it. It's way better than the bitterant that's in the other scan sprays, right? Jacob says, fine, but you're going on my 6th monitor. Yeah. The Lord has to have a lot of monitors, you know. Rauer says, I've learned so much from today's stream. Really appreciate you answering our questions. Dude, that's what we do all the freaking time. We love to answer questions. I'll be as open and honest with you guys as I can. We're not going to talk about our pricing and how we price jobs because that's just bad for business. But I'm happy to answer pretty much any other question that you all have that doesn't violate non-disclosures. Right? We are absolutely happy to talk about whatever aspect of this industry that you want. I want to see more people in it, and I want to see people pointing to us as, you know, kind of the de facto, hey, if you want to do 3D scanning, you got to hit up the fine folks over at 3D Musketeers because, well, they kind of know what they're doing. And I've been doing 3D scanning now for over a decade with Artex scanners and other scanners. So this is not like my first rodeo to it. Now, I'm not the most well-trained in all of it. Like I'm still learning personally some of the programs and how to use them and everything like that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Just you have to understand where you are in your process of education. And as long as you're, you know, knowledgeable of where you are in your process of education, then dude, keep learning, right? Everyone wants a 6th monitor. Yes, yeah, Jacob has like 8, I think. He's got a lot of monitors. Yeah, I don't have any of that. I have 2. Hell, out here I have 2. I've got we use a Toshiba television for the main kind of like, well, the main stream. And then I have my laptop, which is my laptop. I knew you already, but Pete put me in your direction. Is that, which Pete? Is that reprinted 3D or is that Shirtle 3D Pete? There's 2 Petes that I know. Yeah, I know Shirtle does some scanning. He's got, God, this cable's pain in the ass to put together. Start from the other end. Shirtle's got a Peel scanner. I want to look at the Peel 3Ds. Oh, reprinted. Okay, yeah, so that Pete. Okay. Yeah, Pete's a good guy. We need more like him in the industry. But, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot in scanning out there. You don't have to spend a ton of money. Normally, if you are going to spend a bunch of money, you do get some extra qualities of life with it, right? You know, you get better software, you get better hardware, you get a better user experience. But that's not always true. By and large, it is. It's not always true, but most of the time it is. With the cheaper scanners, yeah, you're going to roll the dice, but in some cases, like with the EinStar, it's pretty darn good, especially for the money. You can't deny it. That's a great price. Do keep learning, can't agree more. Jacob says, the trick is getting an interlacer. NVIDIA GPUs only support 4, but using USB-C interlacer, you can split a single output to support more. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. LSD says being surrogated, right? No, saronged by like 3 MacBooks, a dozen Linux desktops, and a few Lappy Windows PC. I'd say get more monitors, less computers, my 2 cents. Yeah. Oh man, Jacob's middle monitor is a OLED. I have sat at Jacob's desk even. I've been to Jacob's house, I've sat at his desk, and I've had dinner with his family. His mother is one hell of a cook. Some of the best food that I've had, outside of my own mother's, because if I didn't say that, a shankla would rip through my garage door and lop off my head live on stream. But no, it's just different types of food. My mom does Italian and Cuban food. Jacob's family, they're from Malta. I don't know if that's Maltesian. I don't think it is, but whatever. They're from Malta, so it's Mediterranean, and I love Mediterranean food. Honestly, I'm heavy. I just love food in general, but yeah, having home-cooked meals while on vacation, vacation and, you know, trips for YouTube and all of that, was like something else. It was so cool. It's just like one of those extra little experiences, right? It's like you expect to do a lot of eating out when you travel, but being able to have a home-cooked meal while on the road was super cool. Mom always makes the best cooking, but mine's no longer with us, so miss it. So you say, almost as good as mom's food. Well, I am sorry that your mother is no longer with us. Amber has been through some similar things, and my mother is still on this planet. She is a two-time cancer survivor. I'm fairly certain she's beating cancer simply because of Latin spite. Just going to be straight on that. I'm fairly certain it's just Latin spite. But if you do want to meet my parents, they've both been on the podcast, for my father twice and my mother once. So if you would like to meet my parents, you can actually go back in the history of the podcast and find the episodes with my parents. So I've done a podcast with both of my parents before. Not together. I've always wanted to do one with them together. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But separate, we have done podcasts with them. I think you guys would enjoy it. You get to meet my parents. Just Maltese, but Maltesian also sounds kind of good. It does, doesn't it? Like, Maltesian sounds cool. But not Maltesers. Are those the things that would... I think those are the things that I really did not like. But you... I forget that weird thing that you gave me that I just tasted terrible. Terrible. Because it had... not Vegemite. It had the other mite in it. I forget what it was. Both of my monitors, since we're talking on monitors, I have HP X27Qs inside, so they're 1440p, color accurate, 144 hertz IPS panels. I got them on sale for $180 a piece, and I am so happy. Quite frankly, I'm a little bit upset that I didn't buy more at the time. Probably should have. I wish they labeled the effing boxes for what went where, but they don't, so I have no clue what goes where. I'm guessing that goes in there. You need real Swedish black licorice. Jimmy, let's figure out how to make that happen. I am happy to pay for that, to make that happen. My father also loves licorice, so 100% I would love to make that happen. Since you're in our Discord, which is available at the $10 tier and higher, yes, I am turning a request to have someone get me some candy into a means of a, hey, you should join our Discord. But hey, you should join our Discord. It is pay gated, sorry, but pretty much anyone that's in there will tell you it's a lot of fun. We really do have a lot of fun, and you get some really awesome awesome experiences in there. But yeah, dude, I would love to be able to do that. LSD says I'm a pro art girl. Got a dozen of those. I like color gamuts to be accurate. And to be honest, got so much telemetry in my racing sim, so I don't need more than 144 hertz. You're a racing sim person? We have a few people in our server that are racing sim people. I didn't know that you were in the racing sim world. Yeah, make it happen. Hell yeah. For real, I'm an absinthe and pastis woman. If you love licorice, tell me you're one of those who doesn't. I don't even know what that is. I have no clue what that word even means. Sorry. One of our team members does iRacing on a professional level. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty, I would love it. I think I've seen post your setup in the Discord. I don't know where, but post it somewhere. It'd be really cool to see it. Eric says, so on the topic of budget 3D scanners, you say I am crazy for placing a pre-order on the 3D Maker Pro Eagle Max with the RTK upgrade. Dude, I'm trying to get one of those to compare it to my my Ray. 3D Maker Pro, it's Creality. I don't know if you know that. It's Creality. It's the same, from what I can tell, 3D Maker Pro and Creality are the exact same company. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly, last I checked, they had, identical stuff about them. So I have so many damn cases of all these scanners. But yeah, 3D Maker Pro has had some history of issues with software. So unless they send me one, I will not be a first adopter. I will certainly let it figure out and see what happens. I don't want to be a first adopter of that personally. That's not my end goal. My end goal is to adopt a platform that I know works, hence why I own the $60,000 Artec Ray. Yeah, he said they have a history of absolute terrible software. So Eric, why would you do this if they have a history of absolutely terrible software? And yes, I do put my scanner back in the plastic bag. It is basically like going to your Cuban grandmother's house where everything's covered in plastic. Don't at me. Apparently it's French. Okay, that makes sense. It's diluted absinthe. Oh, okay. I've had real absinthe once. I had a friend of mine who had quite the taste for alcohol. Like I shared with their family a 1961 Romanier Conti. Okay, I have the bottle. It's inside my house. It's empty, but I still have the bottle. If you want, look up the cost of a 61 Romanier Conti. They're like $20,000+ a bottle. And I've had a glass of that. And it was truly one of the most amazing wines I've ever had. But I don't have that kind of money. So, I like the Czech Pilsner. The Pilsner with the U in it. I forget what the hell it's called. The one that comes out of Pilsen. I like that one. And I found that I can actually find it locally, which is pretty cool. Might be around. It was $20K back when I had it. I assume it's only gone up, but maybe it hasn't. And since we got time, let's get the other, since I bought 2 of these, because I knew one of them was going to get nice and dirty. I've got tracker dots. We're going to sticker up this. These really don't move all that well, do they? Oh, well. Is there a particular side that I want this to be on over the other? No, it's plastic. Okay. Cool. Now you're talking quite the taste as well. Said, yeah, I also had I tried Louis the 13th. Is that the really nice alcohol in the fancy bottle? I think it is. If so, I tried that with them too. Eric said a few people just received their non-RTK Eagles last week, and they arrived for 3 Maker Pro released the first version of their software. That's atrocious. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so a thing with these marker stickers, right? We're going to use a bunch of different sizes, but you want to make sure that they are as random as you can physically get. You do not want tracker dots to be consistent. That is not something that you want. You want them to be kind of all over the place, because the consistency is actually what creates problems in scanning. So we're going to put some close, we're going to put some far, we're going to put some in between. Tracker dots can get expensive, but most affordable scanners come with some at various sizes. So like between all the scanners that I have, I think I have plenty of tracker dots. The big issue with the dots is that if you need to put dots on the thing that you're scanning, you end up kind of running out of space. And you run out of dots because you can't reuse them, which is kind of annoying. But that's life. All right, that's enough for the big ones. We've got some that are a little bit more dull. These are 3mm dots. Remember, you want to put some toward the center too, because you don't always, and here, I'll just put it on top of this. You don't always scan directly in the center of a turntable. What I would really like to do is do the dots all over like a table, right? Like have a dedicated surface that's just tracker dots. That'd be pretty cool. Make for cool scanner content too, because of course they are retro-reflective, or at least they should be retro-reflective. These are the cheap turntables from Amazon. I think the pair was like less than 20 bucks. They don't got to be perfect. Yeah. Random or spaced out. Real random has many clumpings. Yeah. You don't want to clump them up. There's not really a value in clumping them up. You don't get better accuracy. The cameras will look for the dots, and that's how they align things. And if they can't see enough dots, it will yell at you. With the smaller dots, I will do them closer to each other. But the bigger dots I put farther away, because not many scanners require the big ones. A lot of them like the 3mm dots. You can often get like a few thousand dots on eBay for pretty cheap. You don't have to get them from your manufacturer. But I do think, like Eric's done dice. I have marker dice. So we get dice. I drill out at the 1. I put a magnet in it, a little felt on the back side, and then dots all on the other side of the dice. And it works great. Works absolutely great. That way, if you have something that's magnetic, you can stick the dice to it. If you don't, no big deal. I'm just looking for areas where I just don't see a lot of them. The nice thing is you can always add them, you can move them. It's not too bad. I'm using a lot of dots. But better to have too many than not enough. All right, I've got different 3mm dots, so we're going to put those down too. Beer Printer says, my wife had a pastry turntable thing laying around. Just grab that and put dots on it. Works like a charm. Yep. Yep, you can use pastry turntables. Even ones with motors in them can be good too, as long as the motors do a good job of spinning everything nice and smoothly. You can get magnetic dots. You can. And I'm sure you could 3D print it so there's a little like space for a magnet on the back and you stick a dot to it and you're done. I like the dots on the actual plates. It makes it easier. I've seen setups where there are towers on the corners. That way the dots can go up as well. That is very useful for certain scanners and certain geometries that you might be scanning. Yeah, humans are really bad at doing pure random things, so I'm telling you random, but I'm sure there's like a discernible like method to the crazy madness that I'm doing right now. So, you know, grain of salt that, I guess, probably, definitely grain of salt that. But yeah, you can have issues if your scanner doesn't pick up all of the different sizes of dots. So make sure that your scanners can see all the different sizes, because if it doesn't know the size of the dot, it might not track it properly. And, well, dots are literally to make tracking easier. Don't make it harder on yourself. I've got big turntables. I've got small turntables. Here's 1.5mm dots. I don't know if these are reflective. I don't think they are. I don't think the dull ones are reflective. I'm almost positive they're not. It's really weird. I've heard people going to sticker companies and getting the dots made, where they'll use the reflective back air, where they use the reflective backer, and then they'll print the black dot, and then they'll kiss cut the sheets so they work like this. I've seen people do it, and I've been thinking about doing it too. It seems like a really, really good idea. In fact, I'm going to reach out to my buddy Caleb, who does stickers, and see if that's something he could do. Because that actually sounds like a really interesting business model. Because I bet we could do them for less than what the dots sell for on eBay and platforms like that. Now that I'm pretty certain that those dull dots aren't correct, I am going to put more of these shiny ones on. Sometimes you get crappy dots. So more dots equal better results, Go in DH asks. No, but you have a lower chance of losing tracking, which is really what you're going for. The dots are to help maintain tracking, and if you don't maintain tracking, you're going to have a bad time scanning. So if your scanner can pick up more dots, you have less of a chance of it losing tracking. I know this is very boring. Terribly sorry, but it's on my docket to do, and I just wanted to get it done while I was out here thinking about it. So thank you all for putting up with it. And let me get a big one up there. I don't know. Big one right there. I'll use 2 more. I like to go all the way across a row. Otherwise, it makes me feel weird if I don't do it. On there, and we'll do big one right there. A few more of the small ones, and then we will call it a day on the dots. Oh man, there's someone that has a crappy exhaust on a crappy car, it sounds like, outside. Cool beans. Oh, and you're doing it at 5:45 in the evening? Like, come on, man. That's just wrong. I know Zeisshawk 2 needs to see at least 3 dots anytime to keep tracking. The Raptor needs 4, but because it's only 7 laser lines, 4 is actually harder to maintain than you think. And that's why I'm adding so many dots. All right, I'm good. I'm done. I'm done adding dots. There are my dots. My dots. All right, we're good there. Oh, I put the scanning gear away when I need to do another scan, but I can't do it on camera. That's hilarious to me. Oh well, I'll do it later. I am too tired to do it right now. Seriously, who would steal my car? My car does not have a modified exhaust, thank you very much. It is an absolute piece of garbage. I mean, I love that car, but it's got problems. But, you know, don't steal cars, please. All right, y'all. Let me get rid of my laptop on here. And let's give away a roll of filament, and then we'll call it a day. What do you all say? I think that's pretty good. My only experience is with a fair arm, which is different, it seems. Yeah, it is. Fair arm, because the arm itself measures your rotation and your position in space. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Raptor is looking at the dots with its infrared camera for tracking, but it's horrendously bad at recognizing the dots. Yes. You can see like 20 dots in the camera view, but the software still complains about a few markers. I agree. Okay, I am going to call this one a wrap. Thank you all for coming out. Let's give away a roll of filament, and then we will wrap the show. So let's turn off the responses. Sort the form. And I got to find them all from today. Today's the 5th. All right, first one to enter was ND Cannon Shooter. And because I'm curious, last one was Mr. Nocturnist. You know, just because we can show that. Uh-oh. Wheel of Names is angry at me. Don't do that. Don't do that, Wheel of Names. Oh, Wheel of Names is mad. Oh, wait, my whole computer's mad. That's no bueno. Well, interestingly... Okay, there it goes. Jeez. All right, that took a second. Waiting for Wheel of Names to catch up. All right, that's good enough. Let's click the spin. Wow, okay. Cool. Wheel of Names is giving you one of those days. What the heck is going on right now? Jeez. All right, well, Chrome is upset at me. So let's just close it. Let's close and reopen Chrome. That should be fine on the stream. We're going to find out. Goodbye, Chrome. Okay. Okay, now we got it. Jeez. One of those days, man. One of those days. We're not still streaming, right? Yeah. Yep. I can hear the computer's fan spinning up. That's funny. Oh, okay. Let me make sure this person did the math right. Hey, Luke, you won, but you are in the UK. So that will either be a t-shirt or a donation to the SMF. So I've seen you in the chat. I assume you're still there. I hope you're still there. Let's see if he's there. Luke, are you there? They go by a different name. Kawa? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you'll win a shirt or you'll win the, it's like $20 over to the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation in your name. Because I can't ship filament to the UK and the EU, sorry. Wish I could, but I can't. It is outside of my stipulations for that. But thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you for playing the game, if you will, which you all just lost. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do want to support the efforts that we do, you can join for as little as $1 a month. And at the $10 tier, you get to come hang out on our private Discord server where I'm not too burned out yet. Maybe I'll go hang out there for a little bit when I get back inside. But that is all I have for you all today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Scan more things, please. It's fun to scan. And if you have questions, you can always reach out. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. See ya.